Good morning, and thank you for joining us once again for our weekly devotions here at Pleasant View. As many of you know, our church family is currently working through this book called Praying for America by Pastor Robert Jeffress. This past week, we started our second round of 40 days of prayer for our nation. We encourage you to join us as we continue to pray for our nation, especially as the election continues to get closer. In today's chapter, we are focusing on prayer for fair elections, for honesty and righteousness in our local, state, and federal elections. As you very well know, politics in our nation has quite a reputation for dishonesty, deception, and a lack of integrity. Even though this is the prevailing reputation, we know and understand that it doesn't have to be. In fact, for the Christian, it must not be. The Bible speaks often of fairness and justice as aims of the Christian life. I think it is best summarized by Peter in 1 Peter 1, verse 15. He says, "But as he which has called you is holy, so be ye holy in all manner of conversation." That word conversation actually means lifestyle or behavior. "In all things be holy." His instruction here is a reference to the Old Testament law. God himself was the first one to demand holiness of his people back in Leviticus chapter 11 and 19. In chapter 19, verses 1 and 2, he says this, "The Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say unto them, Ye shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy." Here's what's interesting about this. After God instructs them to be holy, he actually elaborates on what holiness looks like. Now, the passage certainly speaks about pursuing purity and worshiping the Lord exclusively, but it also examines how holiness manifests in our work life and our relationships. And at the end of the chapter, we read this in verse number 35. Listen closely. "You shall do no unrighteousness in judgment, in meat yard, in weights, or in measure. Just balances, weights, a just ephah and a just hin shall you have." You see, our pursuit of holiness demands we pursue justice in all areas of our life. Why? Because justice and righteousness belong to our God. As Proverbs 16:11 says, "A just weight and balance are the Lord's. All the weights of the bag are his work." So today, make it a point to both pray for justice and fairness in our nation, but also to strive for justice and fairness in our own life. And we'll see what God does through it. Thank you for listening, and thank you for joining us in our time of prayer.